Okay, guys, I'm here with Collin, aka Wick. He got drafted to the 2011 Dart Tag Championship in Orlando, Florida. And first off, congratulations, for me to you. How are you
Thank you.
feeling right now? We've got 2 days until Friday when kind of like the first part of it starts for the players. How are you feeling right now?
I'm pretty excited. I did get the call. I didn't get the call over Skype, so it wasn't in the video, but I did get the telephone call, and I was pretty excited when I got that. I have been practicing, and it's 2 days now from the tournament, and I'm just thrilled that they picked me, and I'm thrilled that I'm going to Orlando for free.
Awesome, man. I mean, I'd be really happy too. Okay, so why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Well, obviously my name's Collin. I go by Wick Buddy sometimes. I'm from Seattle, so that's in the northwest region of the dart tag thing. I'm 13, so I am in the 13 through 17, but the minimal age, which is sort of, I guess you could call it an advance. I don't know, it's sort of good and bad in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, think I've been into Nerf since November, so almost a year, and I'm just an ordinary person, I guess. I'd say.
An ordinary person in an extraordinary situation.
Yep.
Right, man. I'm kind of surprised. You said you've only been nerfing since November. What kind of got you into it?
Well, originally my friend sort of started nerfing. He wasn't really into it. His name was Alex from Nerf Mod Central. He has a YouTube. But he eventually sort of just like, oh, I think this is pretty cool, and I eventually caught on to it, and I thought it was pretty cool. He sort of died down from it, but I sort of kept the interest.
Awesome, awesome.
And so he sort of got me into Nerf.
Okay, Collin again said, he's 13. I'm kind of curious, Collin, what grade are you going into this coming school year?
I'm going to 8th grade,
Oh,
so...
you're going to 8th grade, okay. Collin again, pretty young, 13-year-old going into 8th grade. What would you say you bring to the table, at such a young age? What can you bring?
Well, I am a pretty good shot. I'm not the best runner. I don't know, I think I'm definitely going to surprise some people. I believe I do have a lot of potential in the tournament, so hopefully I can just wreak havoc out on the arena, I guess I could say. But hopefully my team does good and we do good, and I believe I do have a lot of potential.
Awesome, awesome. I'm looking forward to, I don't know if they're gonna. Do you know if they're streaming the games live or anything like that?
I think they're gonna be live on Facebook. When I did get the television release form, it said something about ESPN platforms, so it might be on ESPN, which would be really cool. But it's probably gonna be on at 3 a.m. in the morning or something.
I'd still watch it. I really want to watch this, because I'm gonna
Well, I'm planning on doing a vlog about it too, so.
Okay. I know Mark. I already asked him, and he has a blog, and I was gonna try to break down some games with him, and kind of just see what was going on in each situation, maybe whatever, And,
Okay.
But if it's definitely televised, I'd watch it, or I'd probably record it. Okay.
I'm probably gonna try to get some footage of it. So.
Okay, cool. So, Mark, players are going to be using the new 2011 Dart Tag blasters, Speedload 6, Quick 16, Swarmfire, and the Sharp Shot. Out of those, do you have any of them personally? Have you used them?
I've used everyone but the Speedload 6. I own everyone but the Speedload 6.
Okay.
So, that's sort of my experience with them. I'd say I'm fairly experienced with all of them, except for the Speedload 6.
All right. Which one of those, are you liking the most?
Right now I'm leaning towards the Quick 16 because I've been using that the most in the past time that I've been training. And like Mark said, it has some jamming issues, and I can understand that. I've sort of figured out how to get past those. You just have to not since if you notice the Quick 16 has a really loose handle, so that makes it easy to jam it up and stuff. My brother has problems with that all the time, but I generally have seemed to figure it out. So, yeah.
That's a definitely interesting factor of the blaster because I have the Swarm Fire, I have the Quick 16, but I never kind of noticed a loose handle. So
Yeah.
Okay.
It jiggles around quite a bit. So
you kind of have to give it a good back and forth.
yeah. So yeah, you sort of have to keep it straight because with the Raider, it's locked in really good, so you can just go like really back and forth really fast.
Right.
With the Quick 16, it's a little more loose. So you have to keep it in one position. I've noticed that. So.
Wow. Okay. But you're going to be obviously playing games with it, though. I mean, how easy is it to use it? In the way you described it as, and in such a high pressure situation because it's like a tournament.
Yeah. I've generally been practicing. I've done some. I've sort of tried to. I've done 1v1 with it with some of my friends. So I've done 1 versus 1. So I can. I've just tried to sort of not be too intense with it. Just sort of go as a fair rate of fire, not like back and forth trying to get 10 darts per second or something, but only just like 2 or 3 per second if I'm slam firing.
Okay.
Just so like a steady rate of fire.
Okay, very interesting. We'll kind of like go off that topic. We'll come back, but for now, again, you're a 13-year-old going into 8th grade this coming school year. And you mentioned some stuff before when we discussed, you said you don't really like the Swarm Fire because you fire off too many darts with it too fast.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I guess you can say like a weakness because, you fire off darts too fast. But you said, you can unjam the Quick 16, you know how to use it pretty well. Yeah. That's kind of like a strength. Besides that, do you have any other strengths and weaknesses?
Weaknesses is definitely running. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but
yeah, you did.
Yeah. I sort of have something. And I did actually include this in the essay thing that we had to do. For trying to participate. I have low muscle tone, so it's basically a disease where I'm never going to be as strong as anyone else. But
oh wow.
Yeah, so I've learned to deal with it though. So yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. Major props to you, though. I mean, you're working with it, and you're obviously in this high tournament situation coming soon. But, I'll be rooting for you definitely, man.
Thanks.
You have my vote.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Let's see. We were talking about the Quick 16, and you said, of course, we mentioned the jam issues, which are kind of majorly known. At the same time, it has a high rate of fire if you can, slam fire it or kind of get there. It also has the quick loading internal magazine.
Yeah, I do like that.
And, on the other hand, you have Swarm Fire, 20 darts. A little bit slow to reload because it's front loaded, but, it fires off 20 darts. Now, and there's, of course, the speed load 6 and sharp shot. If there's any blaster in this tournament that can be like some sort of X factor, what blast do you think it would be, and why?
Personally, I think it's going to be the 17-year-olds because they're more developed now, I'm just going to say. But they are a lot stronger than the 13-year-olds, and they're going to be able to handle the Swarm Fire. Well, for me, it's really heavy. But I think it is going to be a deciding factor how the people use it, whether they're going to use it more effectively by just firing off a couple shots or becoming trigger happy and firing off all 20 shots. It's going to be a big game changer. I believe also the Quick 16 because it depends on how people use it. I think every gun is going to be an X factor except for the sharp shot because I don't think anyone can do very good with that. But I think every gun besides the sharp shot is going to be an X factor just depending on the person that uses it.
Okay, awesome. Mark mentioned blaster usage and age in these X factors. Okay, Mark says, he's been practicing for a second. He's played one-on-one. I'm assuming he's done some target practice as well.
Yeah, in my videos I have Bob, so.
You have what?
I have Bob, who's just a little target.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. But, is there anything else you kind of, besides those, is there anything else, maybe like drills you do to practice?
I do a little bit of strength training every morning, not too much, probably like 15 minutes. I've just started doing that. I went over to my friend's house because he wanted to train me. He had a lot of weird strategies for training, including trying to catch a dart in the air, which was difficult. I think I attempted like at least 100 times. I caught one. So, he had some unusual strategies of training, catching the dart. He wanted me to be able to, I think, spin around like 100 times and be able to shoot him, which was a little weird. But he tried some unusual training strategies on me.
So would you say those kind of like worked, or they didn't work, or those are kind of useless, or?
I think the spinning one was sort of useless. But I think the catching the darts one was actually pretty useful, because in the game, in dart tag, you need the dart to stick to your jersey.
Right.
Yeah, in like one of the selected areas. So if you can take a hit to the arm where it's not going to stick, or if you can just hit it with your hand or something, or block it with your blaster, it's not going to count as a point for the other team. So I do think trying to catch the dart was good, but I don't know if we should just have practiced blocking it or something.
Yeah, I think blaster blocking sounds better.
Yeah.